Okay, so for everyone, welcome to this exclusive webinar. My name is Lou, and I'm advertising manager for GlassApp. And I'm joined today by my colleague Camille, also advertising manager. And I would like to introduce you to our guest today. We have two of our most loyal advertisers on GlassApp. Bettina Heuter, Marketing Director at Glass Global, sorry. And Sandra Kugler, Sales Marketing Director at Viprotron, right? They will both introduce themselves a little later, okay? I apologize in advance for the French accent, but this webinar will be presented in English because our audience is mainly international, but we can answer question or rephrase sentence in French. If you have any question, you can ask them in the chat, the private chat. And if you want to take part, just let us know and we will invite you to have a chat. So to start, I'm going to let Camille give a quick presentation of GlassApp for those of you who don't know the application yet.
So, welcome everyone. I'm going to tell you more about GlassApp. GlassApp, it's a mobile application launched at the beginning of 2024, designed exclusively for flat glass professionals. It has now been downloaded by more than 1.3 million people worldwide, present in 200 countries. Our main countries represented in the application are France, Venezuela, Turkey, India, Bangladesh, Algeria, Germany, etc. The application is translated in 10 languages, including French, English, Chinese, Spanish, and German, of course, for our advertiser here today. This is for a worldwide distribution. It's free to download, but you need gains GlassApp money to use the application to its full potential. So I invite you to download the application and try and find more about this system. So here are the different features of the GlassApp application. First of all, we found a quotation function that lets you create quotation, invoice, delivery notes, and labels with your company details and logo, which you can download and send directly to your customers or to production. You have the optimization function, one of the most used in the application, lets you optimize glass trays and tempering oven loads, enter the dimension of your glasses, and in just a few seconds, you will see an optimization with the global waste, one of the lowest permitted drop rates on the market. You can download this optimization and integrate it directly to your cutting table. Currently, we're working for Botero, Lysec, and Etiquette tables. You can use the Did You Know function to find the latest news of the flat glass sector, which is updated every day. You can also use it as a search bar if you are interested in a particular subject. You can have an access of a GlassApp interpretation of European standards in the standards feature. Soon to be available for sale, you will have job description also, so stay connected. You can use the portfolio to share your best work with your colleague and explore the gallery in search of inspiration. This is the first B2B social network. And if you have a machine for sale, looking for something in particular, so looking to expand your team, looking for a job, maybe you can use our classified ads feature. So you have here an example of a quote that you can done on a GlassApp, which with your logo on it. You have here an example of an optimization with a 5% global waste. And here in advance, so you have a job description that you can find in a GlassApp. But Who are the pros who are using GlassApp? Because it's an important question. We have several sectors represented in the application, including production and glass processing, installation, glass fitting, design, architecture, and many more. The application is used by a number of different profiles, so you can target your customer specifically.
Okay. Yes, on the chat, if you have already used GlassApp, you can tell us which feature you use the most or which you find the most useful. You can also write your job in the chat. Maybe it could be interesting for us. We have many advertisers often ask us, how can I reach the right companies without wasting my advertising budget? That's precisely today's topic. So how to maximize your visibility in a competitive market. We have a few key facts about the market today. First, the market has been evolving since 2023 and is expected to grow by 8.3% over the next few years. Promotion and innovation in the glass sector play a crucial role for companies. Construction is the most buyer sector for the use of flat glass, accounting for 70% of global glass consumption. For the next step, let's concentrate now on advertising communication. It's the heart of our problem. Because if you don't communicate, you're letting your business enter in the cycle of gradual decline. Communication is not an expense, but an essential investment in attracting, convincing, and retaining your customers. The vicious circle starts with lower results, so there is less investment. The communication marketing budget is down, so which leads to insufficient visibility, few new business relationship, so few results, less investment, etc., etc. In order to discuss this issue, I would now like to invite Sandra Kugler and Bettina Heuter to give us their views in turn. So, Bettina, Sandra, can you briefly tell us about your company and your role on it today?
Thank you very much for the chance to share my opinion here. First of all, I'm the marketing director for Glass Global Network now for over 25 years and active in the glass industry since the early 80s. Therefore, there is a bunch of information grabbed in our network. My role is to connect glass fabricators, which is glass factories producing the raw glass, suppliers and buyers through our network, and to consult these companies about latest technologies, market trends, products, prices, both for container but also for flat glass industry. And there we see our strengths in our cooperation.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So I'm also honored to be to make part of this webinar today. So my name is Sandra Kugler. I'm working in the glass industry since 25 years in several roles. So I was first in software implementation for A&W, so for ERP PPS system dedicated for this branch, and I always just was working in the architectural glass processing industry. Then I was selling glass in Europe for Saint-Gobain, being project manager and sales manager of, again, ERP PPS system, and since 2019 in the machinery sector for the glass industry. I joined Viprotron in 2020, so just with COVID, so just no access to markets, being responsible for Europe, and all the borders were closed. So what to do in this case? So this is we are coming to this point then later. So nowadays I'm the sales and marketing director of Viprotron since last year, with the task to refresh the marketing and to make the company more visible. Viprotron, we are a world leader in high efficiency glass scanning technology. So we ensure top quality in glass production. Our advanced scanners detect defects like bubbles, inclusions, scratches, smear, and so on. And we help also to reduce waste, and we help to optimize processes. We do have 600 systems worldwide, and we are trying to help manufacturers to really meet the highest industry standard.
It's very interesting. I have a question for you. So you've been in the business for a long time, if I can say that. So how do you feel advertising in the glass industry has evolved in recent years?
If I may start with that, when starting with Glass Global in year 2000, even emails or online advertisement or websites were new, and everybody said, hey, this will not survive, and that's new, and I will not go with that. See where we are today. When I started, conventional advertising, magazines, letters, posters, paper was absolutely frequent and well recommended and well accepted. Meanwhile, such a development into electronic media, first email and mobile phones, which was new for us, apps now, or social media applications as you are providing, the attention of the people has changed dramatically and is now much quicker, and that requests a completely different strategy to advertisement that I used to know 40, 20 and even 3 years ago. So Corona made also a big change to online advertisement. And I think Sandra can confirm that for me.
Yeah, exactly. And, I'm also a long time in the business. So what was the most fashion things have been already, printed ads, flyers, everything what you could touch, feel, and so on. So nothing virtual at the end of the day. And so one of a virtual channel was perhaps the webpage, but even though those web pages haven't been fancy or interactive, mostly it has been a presentation of text and some photos, and those photos even not really professional. So it was not really professional, not interactive, not really fancy, and not really spot on in a way. So nowadays the customers are more and more used to all this, and as Bettina said, with COVID again, so we haven't had any other channels to sell things and what to do. So everybody needs to sell something to survive and to get things running, keep the jobs and so on. And so in this time, things have been really pushed, like LinkedIn, or even those means already working in home office, being available on Teams, using then Teams more often, all these digital things. So and what is really important, the so-called elevator pitch nowadays, because usually people spend time on perhaps an not even interesting web page, but at least they spend some time on it. Nowadays, you can be swiped so fast away that the elevator pitch, like presenting in a small time the company or what you are doing, or the service you are offering, it's quite important. It's really important.
Okay, and what are the main challenge you face when it comes to advertising in the glass sector?
If I may start again, I think it's time. Time is the most important factor. And when I see the slides Camille has presented earlier, it is absolutely evident that it works with visuals. Visuals that are easily to understand, lead the people into the next application, even underlined with the colors for right or wrong, going into the right direction. The people, the time the people have to react on an advertisement and the speed the information is shared is vital. because on the channels, emails, social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, it works with time. And it is just a millisecond a person has to react. And these advertisements need a sophisticated editorial for the ad, for the pictures, for the visuals to be that clear that they are immediately understood, even if the person doesn't speak your language. And they have to attend and catch the reaction of the reader, the person visiting the visual immediately. And they have to attract into the right order, and you have to put a picture, as I mentioned, a slogan, a color, the pull with a discount, make a decision. And if that is not the case, the person will go. Even if you look at our 3 different companies, you as an online platform for glass processing companies, Viprotron as a sophisticated machinery supplier, and we as an international network not having any machine or product to sell, but intelligence and information. We have to approach the industry and the people on absolutely different levels with different key information to be a reliable source of information that we have to be aware that we attract the correct person into the right target, into your advertisement on Glass Global, into Viprotron presentation on Glass Global, to get into the right way. And that's the key. I think Sandra can confirm that.
Bettina, it's exactly, our main challenge, apart from doing then the ads, the main challenge is to attract the right person. And this is some, the analyze perhaps which not have been so intensively before. Nowadays, you need to really be aware, what is the person, the target person, let's say, or the person you want to attract with your product, to create this person, because this person can be young, old, it can be, a newcomer in the market, it can be somebody who is experienced in the market. In my case, who is really experienced in the technology about what camera systems are using, and really starting to ask fancy questions. But and this is important then to know who is the buyer's persona, who is the persona, and how do I need to speak to this person, and how do I then create the advertising or the means how to contact the person. Because depending on also how innovative people are in a perhaps advanced age, there are people in, being 80 years old, being on mobile phone and using all the fancy stuff which all the youngsters are using. But there are other people with 60 or 50 which are not using at all those tools, which are still wanting to have a phone call. But and this is why for us a big challenge to do the right advertisement is to create the buyer's persona, to know who do I speak to, how do I need to speak with the person, how needs to be also does it need to be familiar, does it to be really polite, does it need to be whatever it needs to be. But this is really something which is a big challenge, and which is something we did invest a lot of time last year to then start doing something, even not knowing for the moment if everything what we did was right. Because now it's the time to do a red line through what we started, and then to concentrate on things which are important. And this is also why we were working or being then partner of GlassApp, because we just thought it's something new, it's something which is visible in a way, and you did a tremendous job in making it visible. And so this is what we thought, perhaps it's something we need to be present, even though we did not know what comes as a result, or and even though it's hard to get the feeling for the result with those new things which are on the market, let's say.
It's very interesting. So I have another question, which is clearly related. You have done strategy to make communication and advertising. So what have you used to create your advertising? You spoke about colors, but maybe there are other things that's important too. Message, geographical targeting, etc.
When it comes to targeting and visuals, the strategy was to analyze the situation, how the people react on an advertisement. An advertisement in Germany may be a complete flaw when it comes to South America. When you have a car named Nova, it sells good in Europe, but in Spanish countries, Nova means doesn't work. So you can forget that. So you have to think on different angles when you do the advertisement, and to avoid that people get offended with a visual or a mark, a V sign or something like that. That's what we are thinking about when it comes to strategy, to always put the core information we want to transport into the center of our visual that we are publishing.
Yeah, speaking then from a machinery point of view, our main strategy one main point on our strategy was how to be more easy understandable for customers with our technology-based product, because we as a German, so made in German, engineered machinery, fancy stuff like a scanner with cameras and light is already something high technology at the end of the day. But how can we transfer what we are doing to other people? Because before, all people in our company were really technology driven. So they are engineers. They know exactly what everything does. And me coming from more the sales perspective or business perspective, and for sure knowing about glass and knowing about certain technical environment, but perhaps not every single detail. This was really the focus, because I said when I started in the company with the presentations I said, I don't understand that, because what they were using as a language was a language they always used. And for them, it was so familiar, and they could not even, understand that I did not understood, because of physics, because of some physics, which perhaps are then hard to understand for people which are not so much into this scientific things. So our strategy was really therefore to start changing how to say things, and then to see where we can, apart from all this traditional stuff like web, their days, traditional stuff and things like that, what to use. And we started to use already then LinkedIn quite a lot. We used also LinkedIn, Google Ads advertising also on this end. For sure, there's also some geographical targeting, although it is not easy, because sometimes in our special niche branch at the end of the day, in a certain way, it's hard also to find the right person with the selection you can do in those tools. So sometimes you find a whole bunch of people, and a lot of them, because I'm long time in the market, but there are so many people when you Google them, that's for me not the right market, because I'm in the architectural market and not on the hollow glass market or container glass market. And therefore there are tools, but it's hard. And for sure, what we are always using, our customer base and standard things like newsletters, but also there we need to change our method to speak with the customer, and we needed to make it more easy.
And sometimes there is so much information, and that we are droning to pick the ideal channel to focus really. And what do you think? What trends do you think we will see in advertising for the glass industry in the next few years?
If seen Glass Global as a network for the glass industry, our strength is to share technical product-related articles through the website, through our social media channels on LinkedIn and Twitter. We do not play other channels as our content doesn't match there, but this could be individual for other companies. And we have selected these 3 channels to support our personal approach to customers in glass-related exhibitions worldwide, very target-oriented. If it comes to young people or those who have a good access to media, the advertising will be much quicker and needs to be on the spot. That's the main change, I think. It is visuals, movies, catching funny stuff to stand out of the mass without losing the reliability that goes with the industry, the business, the machine you want to sell. And sometimes we even think about getting back to some nice postcard with some features to fold so that the people have something in hand that they can play with. Because sometimes this makes memories, and memories are the thing that bring the customer back to you, your machine, our network, when they have time and they have time to rest and think about. I think that is something that should be reconsidered.
Yeah, I also really agree on that, because for sure all this new media stuff is important and it's used, but for us as machinery supplier and having the matter of automation, it's also really important to have a good network with people playing also a role in this automized environment, which are other machine suppliers, and having the interfacing to the machine suppliers. So interfacing means the interfacing in the company itself, but also the interfacing with the people playing a role in this branch. So for us, still shows like Glass Build in the US or GlassTech in Düsseldorf, these are the glass-related biggest shows there in the glass industry, architectural glass industry for me. But as Bettina also said, it's the glass-related parts, and there we are using, we are getting in touch with, real people getting in touch with each other, but we are also using the traditional magazines, but always with use cases and things like that. Not just, this is Viprotron and we are the best of the world, but really with use cases, things which bring value to the people. And as Bettina said, with the youngsters, still the new media stuff is important. But also we had the same thinking regarding the postcard. So we also wanted to write a personal letter to people, inviting them to the GlassTech, which is not everybody, but we choose kind of 20 high priority customers where we sent a written letter to, because if everybody is doing the same at the end, you do not differentiate yourself from all the others. And I think this is a little bit also in French you say the doigté, in German the Fingerspitzengefühl. I don't know the word in English, but to get a feeling what to use and then to be able to evaluate that and say, okay, it was a good tool, I will use it again, or it was not working well because of wrong person targeted, or because of it was just a stupid idea at the end of the day, which might be also the case sometimes.
I have a last question for you, if you don't mind so. Do you see the digital evolution in advertising as promising for the glass industry?
If Glass Global is concerned, yes, there will be a digital evolution and there will be more developments in the means advertisements are made. It will be more videos, catching, blinking and other. It will be an elaborate way to catch a larger auditorium with one visual, because you don't have much chance, but it has to be really catching. If I'm considered, but I'm not the mass, I'm older, I'm careful in watching advertisements, taking care that it doesn't take too much of my quality time, of my working time, firstly in my job, but secondly in my private life with family and friends, which I count as a very high benefit for me. Nevertheless, if I see something that makes me curious, I'm on it, I follow it up, I research, and I get my information and attach with the company who has written or advertised. And so I think, yes, it will be a digital evolution, but you have to be careful how to use it.
Yeah, I completely agree on that. But I also see why it's also so interesting, this evolution, because one big benefit is you can react really fast. If it's an ad in a magazine, you cannot change it. If it's an ad somewhere in an app or somewhere digital, you can change it daily to daily, and you can just make it work with the subject themes which are currently playing a role in the business. And so, or in the nowadays world, like, when the war in Ukraine started all the energy discussions, and with all this digital means, you just can change things so fast, and then you just can point on the right timing and the right information and environment, you can place that. So I really think this is a big development, and it's important. But as Bettina said, we all need to have a focus on things, to don't waste time, because nobody has to waste time for several benefits. And I think that's really the case, to focus and to be as efficient. But I think it's really growing, as it's also so dynamic.
Thank you very much. It's very useful information. Maybe, do you have something more to say? It's okay.
No, thanks you. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to welcome all of you and listeners to this webinar on Glass Global Network to share our capabilities. 360,000 people per month. An advertisement on Glass Global catches something like 8.5 million views per year compared to a magazine. And our strength is that we are experienced glass engineers with long-term experience, and any questions on glass industry are welcome and will be directed in the correct channels to Viprotron, to GlassApp, or whoever is concerned by that question. Highly welcome, and thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you so much, Bettina. To adapt this constant change, company needs to make small change in the communication, and their previous vicious circle that we see will turn to a virtuous circle. The first steps are the same. So you start with a drop in the results. So you invest less, your communication and marketing budgets are reduced. But if you have in front of you a solution that we talk about for communicating at low cost to a more qualified audience, because it's perfectly within your targets, then your circuit change. It's become a spiral, and that just wants to grow and expand. You, once again, have a bit of visibility, more contacts, and so the results appear to be a little better. So to support these arguments, we have a few interesting figures on mobile advertising, just to say a little bit more. So mobile advertising accounts more than 60% of the digital advertising budget, which is a huge. The other 40% being spent on television, websites, etc. Mobile advertising accounts for 40% of total spending on our advertising together. I don't know if you know this figure, Bettina, Sandra, but it's huge, isn't it?
It's incredible. Yeah.
It's incredible. So we just want you to know these figures.
Yeah. And the question is, how exactly can we target a specific audience, for example, using GlassApp? Today, GlassApp has been downloaded by more than 1.3 million people worldwide in over 200 countries. So it's a specific audience because all GlassApp users work in flat glass and are company manager, glass technicians, sales staff, logistic manager, etc. And work with flat glass, double glazing, tempered glass, laminated glass, shades. Like, just imagine it's like having your own shop in the streets where only mirror makers or glass professional pass by. It's the same things. So with GlassApp, we offer a selection of advertising format to help you target your message as effectively as possible. From small to large format, you can effectively target your agents while integrating photos or maybe videos like you want.
As far as advertising rates are concerned, we've put together a special offer to enable our advertisers to maximize their visibility at a lower cost. So to take advantage of a unique package for just 100 a month, you can publish your ads on GlassApp for 1 month up to 5 different countries in the language of your choice and with the visual that suits you. So we are making this low price offer because we understand that it's always difficult to launch in a new format other than LinkedIn, Facebook, or Google Ads that we speak before. But we are convinced that communicating on a street full of businesses that are your customers is the best way to make a difference. From now on, you can create your ads completely independently using our advert platform, which you can see. I'm going to talk with you for a quick demonstration right now. You have here the advert platform that we create with GlassApp. So it's in French, but it's normal. You can have it on your own language, but I am French, so I have it in French, but I'm going to then translate it in English, no problem. So here it say, welcome Camille. It's me. You can create your advertising here on GlassApp. So I just have to click on it. I'm going to choose different countries. So please, Bettina, tell me a country that you want to target in your advertising.
I would like to target Germany, France, and Italy.
Okay. Germany, France, and Italy. Okay. Sandra, I can have 2 more countries. So if you have other countries to target.
Yeah, for me it would be Spain in addition.
Okay.
And just to see if there's also Lithuania or something.
Yes.
You have like that. Yeah, cool. Okay.
And Lithuania, for example. So we have 5 countries. So you choose to advertise in all the languages, or you can just focus on one language. So maybe to be more clear, we can choose English.
Yeah.
The name of the society is Camille, for example. You can choose whatever you want. And I choose to advertise for about 1 month. So the cost of my advertising is 100 euro. I just have to click here. I put a link here. So for example, this is my, I have to, okay. I'm going to put Viprotron. Okay, perfect. I take this link if you're okay, Sandra.
Yeah.
Here, I just have to take a banner here. If I want, I just put my banner, but I can also add different visuals. So I'm going to put also a large banner here. Perfect. So as you can see, you have different formats in the application. Here you can also see exclusive webinar and the information. Here you have a little more information on the format. And for the full screen, oh, you have every information. So you have to choose your right format for this. And because I'm going to put a little video on it.
Mm-hmm.
So here, perfect. So I added. Perfect. So here you have your advertising, the duration, the geolocalization, and the languages. You just have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
it's similar. So here you need to pay for your advertising, and the next with Lou, we're gonna receive a demand from you, and we accept on it, and it's visible on our application. This is simpler. So this is the advert platform. So you can use it. We can just share the link on our profile and you just have to use it. On peut aussi expliquer en français pour ceux qui ont besoin, pas de problème.
Oui, parce que du coup, on a...
I have a short question. What about the report about the months that I have subscribed to? Do I get a figures how often it was shown, how often it was clicked, the reaction, or do I get information who has clicked?
Yes, you can have just a little demand on it. So we can show you how many people have used the advertising, how many people have clicked on it. This is where they come from in the words for the moment, but you just have to demand on it, and you can have a comment on your advertising, and you just have to say, okay, I need to have a report. No problem, we do it for you.
Perfect.
Maybe Sandra and Bettina, do you have any recommendation for us about that?
Yeah, my question was, when I select 5 countries, when a user comes from UK, he will not see my advert.
No. If you don't have selected his country, they don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
You can select all the country, but it's going to be more expensive.
Got it.
Yeah.
But this allows me to go for target-oriented advert, for example, just in Spanish language, if I want to address only Spanish-speaking people, and to go more into the individual language of my addressee.
Yes, exactly.
And then the basis is the 1.3 million user you have. Well, yeah.
Yes, exactly. This is how we target for the geolocalization.
Looks very easy and comfortable.
Yeah. I really like that also. There's also some videos which can be put into and things like that. So I think it's quite flexible to use different things like banners or a pop-up or a video. I think the choice which is there is quite well. So
yeah. Another question: if I want to make a change in a picture or in visual, is it possible to do that myself, or do I have to need your assistance?
Yeah, you just have to click on it here, and you can just modify your advertising. If you said, "Oh no, I don't want to put a banners here," you can just remove them.
Okay, and this can be in the months where it's just running. So while it's running, you can always adapt it.
Yes,
okay. So
you have 1 month. So if you want to change your advertising for 2 weeks and 2 weeks, it's possible. Yes.
Okay.
And you can add up to 4 different visual here. But if you want 2 pop-up, for example, you have to pay for one more.
And in the in this month, if I change it after 2 months, can I also change the countries? Or
No.
the countries are fixed?
And the countries are fixed.
Yeah, okay.
If you want to add another countries, you have to pay for another advertising.
Yeah.
The really goal is really we want to have an independent advertiser. They don't need to ask us.
To be easygoing, flexible at the end of the day.
Yes, right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and well designed, very easy, and it easily to complete also with the online payment. So I think there is no limits to that. And the people, as we as advertisers, simply have to think beforehand what we want to do, where we want to go, how long we want to do that. And I think that's easily manageable.
Yes.
Well done.
Thank you.
Right, yeah.
You just have 3 buttons here, so you can't be lost. It's like
Yeah,
easy.
exactly.
You publish your ad or you want to disconnect it. You just have to create an account with your name and your email, and that's it.
Yeah,
So,
and you need a formal invoice afterwards.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
You're gonna have an invoice after. Yes, of course. Of course.
It's a new way. It's a new way for us and on the flat glass industry, because we want to have the same things like maybe Google Ads. On Google Ads, you can choose your countries, your advertising, and we want to have the same things, but only for the flat glass professionals. We will be in touch with Camille at the email address and telephone number displayed. It was a webinar dedicated to GlassApp first birthday.
Thanks a lot. It was a big pleasure to make the birthday party with you together.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a really good birthday party.
Exactly.
Fully agree. With the weekend ahead, you can really celebrate. And yes, we of Glass Global with 25 years, Viprotron with 25 years, we know that you have a bright future in front of you because glass is, as I would say, the only material in the world that can be recycled endlessly. And there is no way around glass when you look around you.
That's true. And one thing to add, you know, I was always told if you are going into the glass industry, you will never quit it. So, Lou, Camille, you will never quit it. So this is what I'm a good example for that at the end of the day. So this is a familiar and really nice, branch, let's say.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your first year. The possibility glass testing facilities will also be able to advertise or contact glass producers.
To advertise glass testing facilities, all glass that has to go into construction industry needs to be tested. And of course, advertisement on GlassApp would be very promising, especially for the companies who don't yet have that. To contact glass producers if it comes to glass melting facilities, that would be Glass Global to check the whereabouts. And the aftermarket, it is Viprotron who does the inspection. Definitely also a contact for Gilson. Thank you to all of you who listened. I'm curious to get the statistics on the webinar and to also republish a link to it through Glass Global website so that we are all connected in the future for any question that arise hereof.